Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to the second mini live stream from the Unnamed Games podcast in one evening. It's been pretty busy, and as I said on the last one, E3 feels like it has kicked off already because we've had early on today the live stream from Dying Light 2 with a release date, which was great. If you want to check that out, pop back onto the channel. We've got a video with myself and Alan, who was especially excited for that. And now we have a live stream that's due for about 14 minutes of Horizon Forbidden West gameplay. Now, there are two of us on the podcast who have PS5s. One of us on the podcast is very, very, very excited and very much loves Horizon Zero Dawn. Do you know who that one is, Phil? Do you know who that is, or...?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chris said he was a big fan of it, but then he didn't want to talk about it live, so he let me have a go. Nah, jokes. Seriously, like, we've had this conversation in the past, and Horizon Zero Dawn is like one of my all-time top games. I love that game. I've completed it like 7-8 times all the way through, every side quest, every bit of DLC, including those stupid hunting challenges that nobody likes, but just felt the need to do them. And I think it wouldn't be an understatement to say it's the only reason I bought a PS5 is because Horizon Forbidden West. If it wasn't for that, I could have sat on a PS5 probably for another year, wait till they did that revision with the new CPU and it doesn't overheat and whatever all the other problems are going to be when they pump so much juice into it in this new Horizon game, and it just makes everyone's PS5 fall over.
That's really positive, mate.
then you trim back all the settings and tweak it, and it's all good then. I'm so confident about this game.
Good stuff. Cool. Awesome, man. Right. So, yeah, we've got about 10 minutes before the live stream kicks off. So I just wanted to kind of ask Phil a few questions and kind of have a bit of a discussion about, what's coming up, really. So, I mean, this was announced June 2020 event from PlayStation. They had a little bit of a kind of a cinematics type trailer with, sort of a engine footage or whatever, but you never really know with games when they say in-engine footage.
It was landscapes, basically, is what they showed us.
It looked stunning, so,
It did, yeah. You had that bit where she was basically riding the little Bronco thing. I can't remember what they're called for some reason.
Well, like the image on the back there.
Exactly. She was riding that across like a panning shot, and it was panning across like the seafront, and it looked...
mint.
So
we know it's going to use the Decima engine again, which is what they used on the other one, and also used for Death Stranding, which looked stunning. That was a beautiful looking game.
That engine scales so well. Among my many purchases of Horizon Zero Dawn, which now totals 4, I believe, 4 separate times I've bought that game. One of them is on the PC, and I can tell you it scales extremely well up to 4K. That game is very pretty. Particularly when you're not having the checkerboarded 4K like we get on the PlayStation Pro and the PS5 currently. Once you get like the nice depth of field in there, you crank up all the lighting effects, and then you listen to your PC fall over for a moment while it figures out what's going on. And it comes back again. Maybe that's just my PC. She's getting on a bit.
Yeah, your PC. Alan's PC will probably be all right with his 30 series graphics card.
Oh, yeah, he'll be fine. My trusty 980 Ti just... I actually think I saw tears coming out of it when I turned it on just during one of the benchmarks. I was like, this will be fine. Pans around Meridian nicely. Doesn't load half the buildings. Just see through them. It's just like wireframe. But I was like, it's fine. I can play this.
All to get a slightly nicer texture.
Yeah. I remember I was going through one of the bandit camps. I was like, yeah, I've got this. Got my gear lined up. I'm standing out there. And then it starts raining in the game. I was like, oh, no. And like the frame rate's dropped to about 17 frames.
Just because of the rain?
Yeah, and I had to stand outside and just like lure them out and take them out one at a time. I was like, I'm not giving in. I can't change the settings. It'll make me restart the game, so I'm going to have to take them out, and then I can save afterwards.
Good stuff. Cool. Right. Okay. Couple of questions for you. I want to get your thoughts on a few things. So, obviously, the PlayStation 5, something that's got that the PlayStation 4 never had, was the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. Now, let's be honest, Sony are going to implement something in this to take advantage of those. What do you want to see? Is there anything particular you think that would be really good in that scenario?
So, I mean, I can 100% see them using those adaptive triggers to give you feedback on the bow pull. That's like the most obvious thing they're going to do. You're going to be able to feel the tension of the bowstring in there. I'm assuming, moving forward, there's going to be a wider range of weapons, wider range of gadgets. I'd like to see something like, you used to get the slingshot, for example, maybe that you get some feedback on the adaptive trigger, like when you reach like the optimum tension, I suppose. That'd be a quite nice feeling. Again, maybe with the bow, perhaps they can adjust it where with the adaptive trigger, maybe you pull the trigger down to pull the bowstring back and you can find the sweet spot, and then to let the arrow go, maybe you let go of the trigger instead.
Yeah.
Give that real feeling of like kind of a pro archery style. Like, have you ever done archery in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, when you get up to here and you got it against there, I can see them kind of simulating that effect, maybe, particularly using those adaptive triggers. I think there's a lot of scope for that to go in there. I also imagine they'll probably maybe have the option to turn it on and off, because that's not going to please everybody. I can see that not pleasing everybody, but that'd be a really cool feature.
Yeah. I was thinking about as well, just kind of with the adaptive triggers, because I know playing the first game, because I mean, just to put it out there, I've played the first game. I haven't finished it. A couple of times I've tried to play through, and I've really struggled to get more than sort of 5 or 6 hours in, and I promised, particularly if they do a 4K update for the PS5, I will definitely go and finish it, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, but I was thinking with the haptics and the adaptive triggers, so that point where you kind of go in and you like sort of stab the spear into like kind of finish off the robot type things, I can imagine that kind of if you were using the trigger for it, to kind of hit it in, and then the push as it goes through and pierces through the armor plating and stuff like that could be quite cool.
Or that could be, or maybe like the feedback through the haptics, like it's smooth until you get there, and then you feel like the chink as you hit the armor plate, and it sort of pulses back through the trigger, back through the whole controller.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought might be quite cool is they obviously really ramped it up in Astro's Playroom, but you got the haptic feedback based on whether you're on like sand or you're moving over like solid ground.
Yeah.
So imagine. Like, I don't want that all the time, because it's a bit too much, and let's be honest, it will just kill the battery life in your PS5 controller. Like, I don't want to be charging that thing every I don't want to be charging that thing every 3 hours or something like that, because I spent too long on the beach in Horizon Forbidden West. But it might be quite cool to have maybe that effect built in, like when you're hiding in long grass. Like, I don't want to be doing it every time I'm running down the road and I trip over a stone or something like that. But it might be quite cool, because in the early Horizon, like, you duck in and you hide into the long grass. Maybe it'd be quite nice to get a little bit of feedback onto the trigger as you're sort of pushing your way through the grass. That'd be a really cool kind of implementation. You know, whether perhaps they'll add some more motion in there, like, you could crouch, but you can never lay down, for example. So maybe there'll be something, maybe they'll add some advanced movement in there that perhaps we get some nice haptic feedback. Again, I think it'd be really cool to get extra feedback when you're like climbing as well, when you're jumping up and grabbing the rocks, like maybe, a nice kind of haptic tap almost as you grab in each of the rocks. They could adjust the feel depending on the, whether it's like jumping up rutty rocks, or maybe it's like quite an easy climb up like a vine or something like that. They could perhaps give you some feedback from the haptics there to really make you feel in touch with the world.
I think the world as a design, having the mixture of kind of technology with all the metals compared to nature as well, there is that real scope to kind of having that chinking of metal together, and then the crunching, like you say, of soil and sand and grass and stuff. It could do something pretty cool with that. But cool. So next question. When do you think the release date is, and do you think they're going to announce it today?
I don't see a release date coming. I think it's still a little early. I mean, we've seen one kind of, sort of announcement video, I suppose, haven't we, where they announced the title of it. We're now getting 14 minutes of gameplay. I think maybe it's a little early. I mean, they're still shooting for 2021 as far as I know. So, I mean, if I had to guess, I'm thinking, end of 2021, that sort of Q4, maybe September, October, November time around there, I would guess. Yeah. Particularly, like they like to call it holiday season, don't they? Holiday 2021. So, I can see that.
You're right. Let's put a bet on this then, because I don't think there's any way they don't announce a release date tonight.
Okay.
I 100% think there's going to be a release date on it. 100%. Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I know they haven't announced anything around E3 at the moment, have they?
They're not planning on an E3 conference, are they? So.
No, but I wonder whether they might drop a state of play during that E3 weekend to sort of benefit from the hype that's going on.
Do you not think that's what this is?
I Well, yeah, but it's one game, and normally they're state of play. I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe they're just going to do lots of these to build the announcement.
Well,
I just wonder if
we'll see in about 1 minute and 40 seconds when the trailer goes live. Hopefully, we'll see at some point after that, either the beginning or the end of that 14 minutes. Let's say then, if they release the trailer and they give a release date, you buy me breakfast. If they don't, I'll buy you a breakfast. Sound good?
Oh, yeah. A virtual shaking of the hand there, yeah.
Shaking of the hand. Sweet.
I'm down with that, yeah.
Excellent.
I'm obviously, regardless of it, I'm choosing the restaurant, just so they're clear.
Yeah. Yeah, one to suit your dietary requirements. I get that, mate.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll just make me take you to McDonald's and I'll be dead for a day afterwards.
Right. So the other thing I want to say, 4K update for Horizon Zero Dawn. What do you reckon the chances are they're going to drop something like that as a bit of a...
Please do it, because my PC can't run it properly in 4K. It cries when it rains, so I want to see that PS5 update. I want it to be soon. They gave Horizon Zero Dawn free on the 17th of April, I believe was the date. You could pick it up from the PlayStation Store for free.
Yeah.
And I was like, so they're giving it free. I was like, surely there's going to be a PS5 update, and stunned silence has been met. So I'm hoping maybe that's their last thing. Maybe they're one more thing at the end. By the way, we're going to fix the other game for you so you can enjoy it.
That would be seriously cool. And I mean, they've done it with, Last of Us 2 and Days Gone and loads of different titles they've now put these updates to. So I think it would be, this is one of their big key titles, so I can't imagine they wouldn't. Anyway, 10 seconds to go. We're now going to shut up and let you have a listen and watch with us. So we'll see you after the stream.
Hi everyone, my name is Matthijs de Jonge. I'm the game director on Horizon Forbidden West. Last year we revealed our ambitious new project, and since then the team has continued to make great progress on the development of the game. We are very excited and honored to give you an update in this state of play. And in the countdown video leading up to this moment, you have already seen glimpses of the Forbidden West, but now we have something truly special for you. Almost 14 minutes of gameplay captured on PlayStation 5. And you don't have to wait any minutes of gameplay captured on PlayStation 5. And you don't have to wait any longer. Let's get right to it.
Easy, easy. It's okay. You're safe now. Here. Wait, what happened? Where's Erend?
Ambush. Ruins are crawling with raiders. They hit our camp hard. We ran and they chased us down. Aaron was away from camp. Scouting. I bet he's still out there.
What was that?
Raiders got machines on their side. Claw Striders. You should go after Aaron. If they find him before you do, who knows what they'll do to him?
No, you're injured. I have to...
Don't worry about me. I'll make my own way out. Get going.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are raiders doing in these ruins? I hope Erend is okay. machines? This is not good. Better be careful. There might be more. Yep, another one. I need to get clear. That was close. I can't shake him. Up we go. Maybe I can lose him in here. These guys won't give up. The way out is down. More machines. Better go under. Oh, don't mind me. Current's strong here.
I have friends, okay? Not just the ones you slaughtered. But when they come looking for me, there's gonna be trouble. You guys wouldn't be laughing if I had my hammer. Enough! Get moving!
Gotta help Erend. And deal with that tremor tusk.
Now we have two gifts for Regala. A tremor tusk and a loudmouth Oseram.
Which one's uglier?
Loot the camp. Make it look like bandits were here. Then we'll head for the old bridge and meet up with the others.
Will do.
Yeah, got it.
This must be Erend's camp. The raiders made short work of it.
Filthy Oseram.
You out. You think you can hurt me?
Yeah, I do. All right. Back to the hunt. Raiders said they were heading for the old bridge. Maybe I can cut them off. Better get to higher ground, find a way. There's the bridge. I think I know a way to get there fast. Gotta be careful. That should do it. Help's on the way, Erend.
Aloy?
Aloy! Watch out!
Erend, stay put! I'll handle this!
I have her!
Got ya!
Man down!
Fire cannon! Gotta keep moving.
Bring us around! Taking course!
Fire now!
Coming!
That must have hurt.
Fire!
Fall back! I have to stay ahead of it. Gotta slow you down. Fire that thing! Hold on! Oh, here he comes.
Bring us around!
Time to hit back.
Get me ready!
We're under fire! Oh, didn't like that, did you? Time to finish this.
Aloy!
Glad to see me.
You bet. I owe you another one.
Come on.
But this time, I have a present for you. I found it, Aloy. Huh? What you sent me for? Right before the raiders got me.
You did good. Now, let's see where this thing will take us.
Always said a storm was coming.
Yeah. And it's almost here.
So there you have it, the first gameplay footage from Horizon Forbidden West running on PlayStation 5. We hope you are as excited about it as we are. While we have you here, we would like to spotlight some of the new elements you have just seen in our gameplay capture. And to help with that, please welcome Ben McCaw, Narrative Director on Horizon Forbidden West.
Thanks, Matthijs, and hello to all our viewers. Horizon Forbidden West is set 1,000 years in Earth's future after a global catastrophe. People live on in primitive tribes, but they're no longer the dominant species. Giant, animal-like machines now roam the land, and they are extremely dangerous. The machines aren't the only threat in the Forbidden West. A strange red blight is spreading across the land, and it won't be long before it strangles all life. Aloy, our hero, is the only one who can stop the blight. But to do that, she and her companions will have to comb through the ruins of the old world to find the technology they need. In this quest, Aloy has sent her loyal friend Erend into the remains of San Francisco to find a crucial piece of technology. Erend encounters raiders from a rebel faction of the Tenakth tribe. They are vicious fighters, but even worse, they've acquired the power to override machines. To rescue Erend, Aloy winds up fighting them, but first, she must cross the ruins to reach their camp.
We face a lot of obstacles as we traverse the ruins of San Francisco. To overcome them, we've given Aloy some great new tools. Using the focus scanner, you can highlight spots that allow free climbing anywhere in the open world. The pullcaster speeds up climbing and can get you quickly out of trouble. The shield wing allows you to safely descend from great heights or surprise enemies from above. With the diving mask, you can stay submerged as long as you like and take your time to plan a path around amphibious machines or boost through strong underwater currents. And to speed up overland travel, a variety of machines can be overridden and used as mounts or in combat. Combat in Horizon Forbidden West puts a strong emphasis on tactics and player choice. For close-range combat, the spear is an excellent option. There's a range of combos that have different uses and effects. Valor Surges add a unique set of special abilities, one of which can be used to knock back nearby enemies. The spear can be charged to create a high damage effect that can take down even the stronger enemies. A wide array of different weapons is quickly accessible via the weapon wheel. A slingshot with adhesive grenades to temporarily stall machines. Bows with arrows that can strip armor and expose weak spots. A powerful launcher that fires spikes that explode on impact. Smoke bombs that temporarily blind enemies. Or you can pick up weapons shot off from machines. The full game has many more unique weapons, and each of them can be upgraded on a workbench, but more on that another time. The player will need to be smart and creative and use all of the combat options we have shown to deal with a large variety of deadly machines. Sunwings in the sky, Claw Striders and Tremor Tusks on land, Snapmaws in the water, even the seemingly harmless burrowers that you saw briefly swim by. They are all dangerous, and even more so when overridden by human rebels.
We've only scratched the surface of the rebel threat, as Aloy will fight them in many forms throughout the game. And to defeat them, she must explore the open world to uncover the secret behind their power, and how that secret is related to her quest to stop the Blight. And this is just one of the mysteries she will unravel as her journey through the Forbidden West takes many twists and turns.
It's time to wrap it up. We will have more updates closer to launch, and everyone here at Guerrilla can't wait for you to experience the full game. Thank you for watching.
Well, hey? Sounds
very
like
exciting.
it seems breakfast is on me. The
I know I was feeling quite confident about halfway through that. I was like, let's see. 2/3 way through, I was like, I've got breakfast.
yeah.
Feeling pretty
Mate.
comfortable there.
So, well, yeah, that was a lengthy bit of gameplay. Quite a chonker.
That was quite a chunk.
I mean, for me, I'm coming from this from a very different perspective than you are, because obviously you're deeply invested in this and love this game. You finished it multiple
I
times.
will give you two perspectives. One as the fanboy, and one as the analyst and
well, I mean,
future
yeah,
games
I've
journalist.
With nothing, not really anything. I wouldn't say anything bad to say about it. I thought it looked fantastic. Definitely, the swimming section, when she went underwater, like the hair effects underwater, was absolutely stunning. I can imagine that's one of the things that we'll see possibly not on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
There's probably a PlayStation 5 exclusive thing. So I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Or the sand deformation, stuff like that as well. And I really liked the extra things like the maneuverability, the kind of using that grappling hook flying up, and then the kind of the digital parachute thing, and the sticky bombs and stuff, and all that stuff looked good.
They've sort of borrowed a lot of good ideas from a lot of other games in there, haven't they? Like, the grappling hook's so very Batman, and then you got the shield wing that's so very Breath of the Wild. They've sort of taken sort of great gameplay elements and merged them in. I mean, the fan boomer says, this looks awesome. I'm very excited. Can't wait to play it. The analyst in me says, way to think outside the box, but pressed very heavily up against the box so that you don't really go too far away. I'm going to talk about the bad first, and then I'm going to slide into the good, because I want to end it on a positive note. The proverbial Phil sandwich, shall we say. The things that stood out to me was one of the things I really liked was, the way you can sort of hide in the grass and the environment. But they basically just had kind of the same mechanics, like you can hide in the tall grass. There was no other kind of way of staying in cover. Like, you didn't see her press up against any of the sort of buildings that were sort of deformed or anything like that. Or, I expected there'd be like a hollowed out tree that she'd be crawling through or something, very sort of Jurassic Park style. And I thought maybe we'd see some of that stuff, and actually it was just hiding in more long grass. So, they haven't gone too far with that. I mean, I guess they've added the whole underwater side to maybe compensate a little bit. I loved the deformation of where the mammoth went through, or mammoth tusk, or whatever they called it, where it sort of knocked over the trees. I don't know whether that was like a staged kind of part of the experience, or whether, I mean, I definitely saw it knocking over buildings and things, so by the looks of it, they've got some fantastic environmental sort of deformation and damage, and the way you can get it maybe to charge at buildings and stuff, and knock bits down. So that was really exciting to see, and made it feel very next gen, not these kind of sort of fixed layout maps that the creatures have to work around. They can kind of just charge their way through, so to speak, which I thought was great. Let's see what other kind of exciting things. So in terms of the combat, I was really excited and a little bit disappointed at the same time. It's great. They had some extra gadgets. They got the slingshot out, but you had the adhesive grenade this time, as opposed to just the lightning grenades or the fire grenades or the ice grenades. So that was a nice kind of extra to see, and it added a different mechanic. You could sort of, it almost it basically replaces the rope caster that you used in the previous game, where you could kind of stake the enemies down. Instead, you just goo them up.
Unless it's got it in addition, it might still have that in.
I'm sure it probably does. I'm sure there's an extra mechanic in there, and there's probably different times that those would be very useful. One of the things I kind of thought I'd see, but we didn't, was I thought maybe she'd be able to climb up on the bigger monsters. Once she'd taken off the cannon on the side, I thought, maybe she's going to be able to climb up the mammoth, for example.
I did feel like that was going to come. Like when you climb up, they call the tall necks. The ones
I
was
like, surely you're going to be able to climb up that, and then they didn't do it. So whether you genuinely just can't, or whether that was something we just didn't see, I don't know. So that's where, again, I'm quite excited with the combat, and yet it's very, very samey. I noticed again, they've got the spear and they've got these new attacks, which is great. There's combos in there because you didn't really have that. You just kind of pressed the R1 button, swung it around a bit, and you had a light and heavy. So it's nice to see that they've got different combos and different effects. But at the same time, again, the only melee weapon is the spear. I thought maybe we'd see like maybe a knife or something like that for getting up close and personal with the enemies, rather than just sliding your hand down the spear and using the pointy bit when you want to stab people in the back.
Sticking with the pointy bit.
Sticking with the pointy end. I mean, it's a valid approach to taking down the enemies.
Yeah.
So
I think the difficulty you've got with a game like this is that it's incredibly well received. Let's talk like you mentioned Batman before, Batman Arkham Knight. You then went over to Batman Arkham City, didn't you? Which effectively very much the same game, but they just made it open world. And obviously, the previous game was open world. So what they've done here is I can only assume, expanded that open world to make it bigger.
I was going to say, it looked vast. I mean, it looked like that panning shot and that. It made that game world seem huge.
I hope you can go up on the Golden Gate Bridge. That'd be cool.
That would be. How could they not do that? Like that'd be so good. They're missing a trick if they don't do that. Yeah. But effectively, it made that game world look endless. Like the way you looked out onto those, like the pillars of the there's like the 3 big pillars in the distance that were really tall rocks, and it's like I really hope you get to climb up those because they look really cool.
Yeah.
So, certainly the world, they've clearly invested a lot of time and a lot of effort in that game world. Almost like trying to get more different settings and different environments. So that's very exciting.
So we had no mention of any kind of 4K update for the backwards compatible Horizon Zero Dawn. Bit of shame. I'd hope they'd kind of like drop a little thing in there.
Yeah,
but I think it's potentially going to be a bit of an episodic thing. The way they've said, we'll be telling you more in the coming weeks or whatever.
They did drop then about a crafting system and an upgrade system for the weapons. So maybe it'll be 2 or 3 more of these, and then the last one would be like, and just to get you warmed up for the new game on X date, here's the old one in 4K 60, perhaps. It
would make sense. That's what people want, don't they? But who knows? Sony don't always give what people want. They do what's good for the shareholders.
That's the truth.
We'll kind of see
about recent news or anything.
No,
but
go on.
I was to say, I mean, I was very happy with that gameplay demo. Like that showed more of the stuff that I loved. There were some great combat elements in there. I noticed they taken on that very kind of God of War style where that smooth transitions from the cutscenes into the game, like completely seamless. Like even from God of War when you press the start button and he sort of, his hand comes away from the tree and you're into playing Kratos, and it had that very, very much that feel where she was talking to the guy and then the camera sort of panned around and she sort of turned around and that's it. You're into the gameplay. And I love those smooth transitions that sort of feed you into the game.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really great.
Definitely. I think it was good. It's definitely it's a step up from the previous game. I mean, it should be. It was 2017 the previous game, wasn't it? So it's been a fair enough time, but it looked like a really good jump up. I was bet aside, and like I say, I owe you breakfast, which is fine because we both get breakfast. So
that is true. Nobody loses there.
Not really. Bit of an empty bet, really. But I was really surprised that they didn't drop a release date. But do you think maybe they're doing, because they're very tactical, Sony, with when they release release dates of things, don't they, around Xbox? So do you think they're waiting until the E3 presentation from Xbox, what dates they're putting out your Halos, what they've got, if they are going to drop a Starfield or whatever they might be? Yes, they're very different games, but big heavy hitter games, are they going to say, right, okay, so we need to come out, we can be tactical now, we know when our big competition first party from other console manufacturers are coming and we can go around that? Do you think that's maybe coming into their mind?
I think there's a strong possibility there. I mean, the fact that they're showing us that level of gameplay, I mean, that looked 100% playable to me. Like that didn't. I know they do these vertical slices, but that didn't feel like I'm pretty sure they could have just turned right and ran off into the distance, and the game would have worked. Like it didn't feel like a segmented slice that was curated for that. I mean, I'm sure it was in the way it was done, but it didn't feel that way. So I'm sure that game is very, very close to being done, and it's the spit and polish that's going on it now to make it that sort of quadruple A that Sony love to release. So it feels to me like they want to drop these episodes, like when they did with Cyberpunk, for their sins with Cyberpunk, they did those Night City wires and they were great. They were a fantastic engagement piece. And, I think, Sony need to start playing to that and start, getting this this engagement piece because they've got the biggest audience at the moment, haven't they?
Yeah.
They
well, you didn't
produce
see
more consoles than Xbox. They have
exactly,
more people that have got them in their homes.
Yeah. Well, you didn't see the Dying Light 2 feed earlier on, but they're very much going down the same way. So it's an episodic. I think it's was it Dying to Know? I think it was what they were called, and they're doing episodes. So this was episode 1, Dying to Know. So you'll have to go back and check that one out. But I think that's all kind of kicked off. Really, I think the first people who did it was probably Rockstar with GTA 5.
Yes,
when
they dropped GTA 5 back in the day.
That was a really good way of doing it, and I was always surprised that other developers or other publishers didn't pick up on that sooner. It took a little while before I think people really kind of nailed it properly.
Yeah, Rockstar are always ahead of the curve, though, aren't they? They're always very much ahead of the curve. They are that leading.
If you can copy something Rockstar does, you're pretty much guaranteed it's going to be successful, aren't you? So.
yeah. You're going to be making bank if you do what they do.
Good stuff. Cool. Yeah. Sorry, do you have something else to add in?
No, I think I covered all the pieces there. There's some great new weapons to look forward to. I'm hoping maybe in future episodes we see more. I think, like you said, I think they're going to be a little bit tactical with this release. I mean, they didn't say anything about 2021 at all in there. So, I mean, I guess there's a chance maybe they've rolled it back. There's that game looked perfectly playable to me. So I reckon it's spit and polish, but there is a chance that they're being tactical. But if I had to take a stab in the dark, I'd be thinking like holiday 2021. I think they'd be looking at that, towards the Christmas window.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be far off with that, mate, to be honest. So, I guess, just leaves us say thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Again, this is quite new to us doing these little live stream things. They seem to have gone okay, but, we'll see. We'll be viewing back a bit more. I guess all that really leaves is for me to ask you to follow us on Twitter and also like and subscribe if you enjoyed the channel and enjoy what we do. And say it's a bye from Mr. Phil over there.
So long.
And it's a bye from me. We'll see you all again. Bye-bye.